Now, we believe this is tied to sex trafficking allegations. There's an investigation into claims that the rapper may have been involved in this.
From the massive investigation by Homeland Security to the storm of allegations that threaten to ruin him forever, here's the real reason P. Diddy's house got raided. Diddy got his door busted down by the feds on the 25th of March, 2024, and the whole world is trying to figure out what's going on. Well, it turns out that Homeland Security launched a massive investigation into the rap mogul. And just to be clear, they raided 3 homes that are connected to Diddy, including a Los Angeles mansion registered to his daughter, as well as his company, Bad Boy Films. Aerial footage showed authorities dragging people out of the house, although Diddy was nowhere to be found. But here's the thing, those guys that were arrested in the mansion, they were Diddy's sons, Justin and King. Apart from this LA home, 2 other properties connected to Diddy were raided in Miami and New York. The rapper himself was in Florida at the time, and he reportedly had his phone seized right before he was set to leave for the Caribbean. Why was he heading out of the country, you ask? It might have been an attempt to evade justice, because Diddy's facing a mountain of lawsuits related to his alleged sexual misconduct. The Homeland Security investigation is probably part of this, and word on the street is that Diddy has trafficking allegations to deal with on top of everything else. This is starting to sound like an R. Kelly type of situation, and things aren't looking too good for Puff Daddy as the police continue to close in. It all started to go south for him when his former partner, Cassie Ventura, sued him for a bunch of unspeakable things. Perhaps the most shocking allegation of all was that of trafficking, and it seems like the recent raids are part of an investigation into a trafficking ring that Diddy might be involved in. Cassie was also signed to Bad Boy Entertainment when she was just 19 years old, with a 10-album deal that should have had her living in the lap of luxury. But while she was working for Diddy, some truly horrifying things were happening under the surface. According to the lawsuit, Cassie endured years of torment from the Bad Boys Entertainment CEO, and it turned out that many other people fell prey to his dark urges as well. Like, apparently, Diddy was involved in blowing Kid Cudi's car up, and when you realize that he was dating Cassie at the time, it kinda seems like he wanted to get back at her for choosing someone else over him. That's just pure speculation, of course, but the connection is there and it's too big to just call it a coincidence. Her lawyer filed the paperwork on November 16th, 2023, and the lawsuit was eventually dismissed after Cassie and Diddy reached a settlement. The terms of their settlement weren't disclosed, and Diddy might think that he dodged a bullet there, but there was plenty more trouble right around the corner. A week after Cassie's lawsuit was filed, 2 more women officially accused Diddy of even more heinous acts. Their names haven't been released to the public, but the first lawsuit involved a Jane Doe, who was reportedly involved in a 1991 incident where Diddy filmed her without her consent. Just to be clear, she was involved in some intimate activities when Diddy recorded her, and she didn't consent to anything that happened that night. She was apparently too intoxicated to stand or walk, let alone agree to hook up with Diddy. To make things worse, she later found out Diddy had shown the tape to a bunch of guys, one of whom approached this Jane Doe and told her about the whole thing. Again, her identity has been kept secret, but we know that she was studying at Syracuse University at the time. As for the second woman, her incident also happened around 1990 or 1991, and she claimed that Diddy and a singer-songwriter named Aaron Hall had non-consensual relations with her and a friend. As if that wasn't enough, Diddy also allegedly went to her house a few days later, where he choked her so hard that she nearly lost consciousness. Clearly, the guy has a violent streak, and while his lawyers claim that the suits are just shameless cash grabs, that's pretty much the oldest excuse in the book. On December 6, 2023, a third Jane Doe came forward to speak out about how Diddy had treated her. This is where things start to get really dark, so a trigger warning is needed before we continue. That needs to be said, because this Jane Doe was apparently just 17 years old at the time of the incident. I can't really get into specifics here, because what happened left her with long-lasting trauma, but suffice it to say that Diddy was involved, and the former president of Bad Boy Entertainment, Harve Pierre, was implicated as well. This horrific incident went down at the Daddy's House studio in New York City, and the court documents show that Pierre approached the underage girl in Detroit and told her that Diddy wanted to meet her. Bear in mind that this happened in 2003, when Diddy was 34 years old, so he was twice the age of the girl he sent Pierre out to bring. She was flown to Jersey by a private jet and taken to Manhattan from there, and at the studio, she was allegedly given narcotics and alcohol, after which a non-consensual encounter ensued. When this lawsuit was filed, Diddy spoke out against the accuser, saying that she was trying to destroy his reputation and legacy. But I have to ask, why would all of these women step forward now just to lie about something that happened so long ago? It's more likely that they're coming out with their stories because all of Diddy's past actions are coming to light. That's the sort of thing that can give you the courage you need to speak out. And besides, a Grammy-winning songwriter wrote an open letter confirming Cassie's story. I'm talking about Tiffany Red here, who published this letter literally the day after the lawsuit regarding the 2003 incident came to light. She very specifically included a section that alleged that Diddy tried to traffic Cassie, mentioning how he separated her from her friends on her 29th birthday and directed a ton of verbal aggression towards all of them. Later that night, Cassie told Tiffany that Diddy made her have relations with male sex workers while he watched, and needless to say, the whole incident was extremely dramatic to both of these women. In the aftermath of all of these allegations, Diddy's career started crumbling all around him. For starters, he was about to start a reality show with Hulu that would have been like Keeping Up with the Kardashians, but all of that's down the drain. In fact, all of his business dealings have taken a massive hit, and the recent raids kind of seem like the final nails in the coffin. His online marketplace, Empower Global, lost 23 brands, and his long-standing dispute with the liquor company Diageo was forced to end in a settlement. On February 27, 2024, things came to a head when producer Rodney Jones sued Diddy for $30 million. This was just the latest in a series of legal battles for the rap mogul, but it also resulted in the most widespread condemnation yet. Rodney was a key figure in the production of the Love album, and in a 70-page court filing, his lawyers outlined an absolutely spine-tingling series of events that showed Diddy as the twisted figure he truly was. The filing also references his son Justin, who allegedly brought underage girls to Diddy's parties. So the fact that he was arrested during the raids isn't a coincidence. The various lawsuits and allegations came together to create a legal storm that might ruin Diddy forever, and the raids are only the first step in the investigation. There's no official confirmation yet, but it really seems like the raids were part of a wider investigation into Diddy's trafficking and other sexual misconduct, as well as alleged narcotics dealing. As all of these events unfold, all we can do is wait to see what becomes of the legendary mogul, whose career has been peppered with incidents of violence that point to his true nature. But what do you think? Is the world really out to get Diddy like he claims, or are authorities justified in raiding his homes? Either way, from the legal storm that threatens to ruin him to the massive investigation involving Homeland Security, this was the real reason P. Diddy's house got raided.